You ever notice how women's products get recalled way more than men's? Birth control, hair relaxers, implants, tampons, pads. At a certain point in time, you gotta start thinking this ain't no accident. It's history. It's the same cause and effect that's been repeating for over a century. And it started with how medicine was built. The truth is, they've been testing the limits of our bodies since the beginning. So let's go all the way back because modern medicine wasn't built for women. It was built on women. In the 1800s, J. Marion Sims, the so-called father of gynecology. He performed surgeries on black women with no anesthesia. Lucy, Anarcha, Betsy, those were their names. They weren't patients, they were test subjects. And that's how the field of women's health began. That was the cause. And the effect was a system that decided that women's pain was tolerable and women's consent was optional. So fast forward to the 1900s, right? Companies started realizing they could make a fortune off of medicines, but there were no safety laws, so they just pushed whatever sold. In 1937, a cough syrup called Elixir sulfanilamide killed more than 100 people, mostly women and children. That disaster finally caused the government to pass the first law requiring drug testing. But here's the catch. They only tested on men. Women weren't even considered part of the data, so the foundation stayed the same. Experiment first, apologize later. By the 1950s, that logic went global. Drug companies tested early birth control on poor Puerto Rican women, all without telling them that it was experimental. They called it liberation, but it was exploitation wrapped in freedom. When the thalidomide disaster hit in the 1960s, where a drug given to thousands of pregnant women caused birth defects, the government solution wasn't to protect women better. It was to exclude them from clinical trials altogether, because that's the answer, right? So for the next 20 years, drugs were designed for the male body, then handed to women like nothing was different. That's not equality, that is negligence, dressed up as science. Then came the beauty and wellness era. Same playbook, just prettier packaging. Hair relaxers full of chemicals that cause uterine cancer. Talc powders laced with asbestos. Implants ruptured inside women's bodies. They weren't mistakes, they were business models. When something went wrong, they just paid the fine and kept it moving, because it's cheaper to settle than to be safe. So yeah, women's products get recalled way more often. Not because the system failed, but because it's never changed. From the operating tables of enslaved women, to the untested drugs of the 20th century, to the beauty aisles of today, it's all the same. It's all the same pattern. The cause is profit over protection, and the effect is women, especially black and brown women, carrying the cost. They say it's innovation, but look close. It's just the same experiment running under a new name. They call it care, but when the care keeps killing us, what exactly are we protecting?